Today we're checking out some of the best cases available for the new Pixel 9a. I'll leave links down below with everything covered in today's video, so let's go ahead and get started. The official silicone case from Google actually feels like really nice quality. The G icon or logo there on the back kind of matches the metal color there on the side of the phone. Has that typical soft touch material on the outside, harder plastic on the inside. Feels pretty rigid, doesn't really flex much. You can see it's got just enough screen protection all the way around. Just has a little bit of play there on the side. Pretty snug fit overall. Nice and large opening for the charging port. You can see the power and volume is covered by the silicone material. Actually has some nice clickiness to the buttons, which I always like. Plenty of protection around the cameras on the back. I feel like the grip on silicone cases are kind of polarizing. Some people think they're really grippy, other people think they're too slippery. To me, I feel like it's somewhere in the middle, but of course it's going to be a personal preference. Definitely one of the best looking cases in my opinion. It weighs about 34 grams for the case itself, so pretty lightweight. And of course it's going to work with wireless charging. Overall, just a really nice silicone case, as expected from Google. Now, if you don't want to cover up the back of your phone, the Spigen Ultra Hybrid Clear Case is one of the better options out there. It has a somewhat flexible TPU material around the edges, harder plastic shell on the back, grippy material around the edges. Can't really get simpler than this as far as the design on the back. Plenty of screen protection all the way around. I also like how they put the little ridges on the power button. Makes it a little easier to find. And the buttons have some nice clickiness to them as well. You can't get much larger than this as far as the cutout for the charging port. Perfect cutout for the cameras and flash on the back. Just a little bit of branding here. Just got a small logo here on the side. Of course, it's going to work with wireless charging. Pretty lightweight at only 33 grams. If you're looking for a clear case, this is definitely one of the better ones out there. Here's what the Frost Black version looks like of the Ultra Hybrid case. You can also see it's going to work with MagSafe accessories. You can see it's kind of frosted on the back, but you can still see the Google icon or logo there in the middle. It also has black around the edges. I feel like it's a similar grip to the all clear case. It has a nice matte finish to the back. Doesn't seem like you're going to get as many fingerprints. You can see it's a nice and strong magnet on the back. So of course it's going to work with wireless charging and other MagSafe accessories. It's going to weigh a little bit more at 38 grams. Not bad considering it has the magnet though. Overall, just a really nice MagSafe case for the Pixel 9a from Spigen. Still one of my favorite style of cases is the NanoPop MagFit case by Spigen. I believe you can get black. The one shown here is called Blueberry Navy. This one does have some flex to it. Definitely a little bit thicker since you have the magnet in there. It's got a nice soft matte finish to it. I also like how they put the little bumps here on the sides to give it extra grip. Pretty minimal screen protection all the way around. Really nice power and volume buttons, as you would expect from Spigen. Nice and large opening for the charging port on the bottom. Plenty of protection for the cameras on the back. Nice touch with the accent color as well. This case also feels a little more rounded on the edges, just makes it a little more comfortable to hold in the hand. You can see the magnet on the back is pretty strong, so of course it's going to work with wireless charging and MagSafe accessories. A little bit heavier at 49 grams, not bad considering it has the magnet included. Overall, just a nice MagSafe case that looks good and has pretty good grip from Spigen. Now, if you want something more rugged, I like what Supcase is doing with the Unicorn Beetle grip case. It's got military grade drop protection. Also has a built-in kickstand that also works with MagSafe accessories. Has a softer TPU material around the edges. Super rigid though, doesn't even really flex at all. You'll also notice they got these really large hash marks on the sides to help give it extra grip as well. Plenty of screen protection all the way around. They put little bumps on the power button so it's easy to locate, and they're probably some of the easiest buttons to use. You've also got a spot for a lanyard there in the bottom corner, large opening for the charging port as well. Probably some of the best protection for the camera on the back. It's also kind of nice how they extended the portion for the cameras. Makes it look a little more balanced. The MagSafe kickstand has a super rigid hinge, so you can put this at pretty much any angle. Plus the magnet's really strong, so it's easily going to work with pretty much any MagSafe accessory. Definitely a little heavier at 65 grams. Easily one of the best rugged cases for the Pixel 9a from Supcase. Now if you just want a thin TPU case, the Ringke Onyx has a few different versions. The color shown here is called Mint. It has a rougher texture here on the back. You can see it's pretty flexible. Flexes a little bit there on the sides as well. Pretty minimal screen protection on the sides, quite a bit more on the top and bottom. Also has this texture on the sides, definitely helps give it a little more grip. Nice and large opening for the charging port. It's got just enough protection for the cameras on the back. The power and volume buttons seem to stick out plenty, so they're easy to locate. They have some nice clickiness to them as well. Of course, it's going to work with wireless charging. Only 34 grams, so easily one of the lighter cases out there. Overall, just a really nice clean design from Ringke for the Pixel 9a. The Commuter series by OtterBox comes in a few different colors. The one shown here is called Baby Blue Jeans. You can see this is a hybrid case where it has a super soft silicone on the inside, harder plastic shell on the back. It does have a little bit of flex there on the sides, but pretty snug fit overall. Really nice and large lip going around the screen. Looks like they have a new style for the charging port cover, probably because of the microphone right there. Power and volume buttons stick out plenty, plus I like how they have the slashes or ridges on the side for extra grip. Some of the easiest buttons to use, as you would expect from OtterBox. You can see how thick the case is around the cameras, so plenty of protection there. Even though it's a thicker case, still works with wireless charging. Definitely a little bit heavier at 54 grams. Overall, just a nice, more rugged case for the Pixel 9a from OtterBox. Now the ZAGG Lux case is a little bit thicker TPU material. Definitely feels a little more rugged. I like how they put all these lines here on the back to give it a little extra grip. You can see it's a little more flexible there on the sides. Power and volume buttons seem to work pretty good on here. They've got some nice clickiness to them as well. I also like how they put this texture on the sides. Definitely helps give it a little more grip. Probably one of the better ones out there as far as screen protection goes. So you can see how thick it is there around the cameras on the back. A little more unique design for the camera protection. Nice and large opening for the charging port on the bottom. Even though it's a thicker case, it still works with wireless charging. It weighs about 47 grams for the case itself, so definitely a little bit heavier. Overall, just a really nice case from ZAGG, especially if you want something that's a little more rugged than just a regular TPU case. Now, if you want one of the thinnest cases available for the Pixel 9a, you'll definitely want to check out the Spigen Liquid Air case. It comes in 4 different colors. The one shown here is a matte black. You can see it's a pretty thin, flexible TPU case. It seems to have pretty good screen protection. I like how they put the little lines on the power button. It makes it easier to find. You've also got these little ridges on the sides to help give it extra grip as well. It does flex quite a bit on the sides. Pretty snug fit though. Really nice job with the power and volume buttons, as usual by Spigen. Perfect cutouts for the cameras and flash on the back. Has a matte finish on the back. You can see the pattern that's on there. You can feel it a little bit, but I think that's mainly just for looks. You can see how large the opening is for the charging port. As you can see, only 33 grams. Again, one of the lighter cases out there for the Pixel 9a from Spigen. So of course it's going to work with wireless charging. Not only one of the most rugged cases for the Pixel 9a, but one of the few that actually has a built-in screen protector. They also have an option with no screen protector. Comes in 5 different colors. The one shown here is green. Also has military grade drop protection. Okay, this actually feels like they've made it a little bit softer on the edges. Pretty simple to just snap on the screen protector. Then it should just snap right into place all the way around. Looks like you don't even have to add another fingerprint to unlock it, so that's good to see. It does have that extra grippiness to the screen because of the built-in screen protector. Seems to work pretty good though. Nice and large lip going all the way around. Easily one of the best looking cases I've seen from Poetic so far. Real nice protection for the cameras too. Also has nice texture on the sides to give it extra grip. Power and volume buttons stick out plenty. I'm kind of surprised how easy the buttons are to use on this one. Might be one of the best ones I've tested so far. You can see it has a flap over the charging port. Also has a little hole there for the microphone. And of course, it's going to work with wireless charging. Definitely a little bit heavier at 58 grams. I would say if you're looking for a rugged case, I think it's going to be pretty tough to beat this one from Poetic. The Ringke Rugged Gear MagSafe case, that's mostly a TPU material, has a rougher texture here on the back. You can see it has a little bit of flex to it, pretty flexible around the edges. Has good screen protection all the way around. Really nice protection for the cameras on the back. Not only do they put texture here on the sides, they also put textures on each individual button. It just makes it easier to locate stuff, which is definitely a nice touch. The buttons stick out really far too, so they're easy to locate. The buttons are also nice and chunky, and they stick out pretty far, so they're easy to locate. Really nice and large opening for the charging port. Also has these little bumps on the corners. You don't have to worry about the phone rocking back and forth when you lay it down. Has a little bit of flex there on the sides. Really nice and strong magnet, so it's going to work with wireless charging and other MagSafe accessories. About 45 grams for the case itself. Not bad considering it has the MagSafe charging. Overall, just a really nice MagSafe case with pretty good grip from Ringke. If you want a leather case, I think this one from Bellroy is a pretty good option. Comes in a couple different colors. The one shown here is called Agave. It's actually pretty rigid, doesn't really flex much at all. It has a softer microfiber material on the inside. Pretty snug fit on this one as well. Has a really nice matte texture to it. Feels like it has pretty good grip. Has just enough screen protection all the way around. You can see the metal buttons are pretty close to the same color. They seem to stick out plenty, so they're easy to locate and have some really good clickiness to them as well. Perfect cutouts for the cameras and flash on the back. Oversized cutout for the charging port. I kind of wish this one had MagSafe charging. Still works with wireless charging though. Definitely one of the lightest cases out there at only 28 grams. That might be the lightest case I've tested so far. Definitely one of the better options out there if you're looking for a leather case for your Pixel 9a from Bellroy. The Spigen ThinFit case has always been one of my favorites. Now it's even better since it has the MagSafe charging. Comes in 2 different colors, black and the one shown here is called navy blue. To me it looks brighter than that. I feel like it changes depending on what kind of lighting it's in. Has a softer TPU material around the edges. Super rigid though, it doesn't really flex at all. It does flex a little more where the buttons are. Pretty snug fit though. You can see it has minimal screen protection. It's a little bit darker around the edge and where the buttons are. I think Spigen always does a really nice job. The buttons are nice and clicky, really easy to use. Kind of a tapered cutout for the cameras and flash on the back. You can't get much larger than the opening for the charging port on this one. Has a nice soft touch material on the back and the sides. Sort of like silicone, but grippier. Nice and strong magnet there on the back, so it's going to work with wireless charging and other MagSafe accessories. Only 35 grams, so pretty lightweight. So if you need a thin case that's got pretty good grip, it's going to be tough to beat the thin fit case from Spigen. The Scout case by UAG comes in two different colors, black, or the one shown here is called Mallard. It's got military grade drop protection. It does flex a little bit, but it's definitely a thicker TPU material. I like the rougher texture is there on the sides. Really nice protection for the cameras and flash. The power and volume buttons are really nice and chunky on this one, so they're easy to locate and easy to use. Pretty nice lip going around the screen. Nice oversized cutout for the charging port. Even though it's a little thicker, it still works with wireless charging. Weighs about 46 grams, so definitely has a little weight to it. If you're looking for something a little more rugged than just a regular TPU case, you'll definitely want to check this one out by UAG. The Rugged Armor MagFit case is a TPU case that has a magnet built in. It's a fairly thin TPU case that's pretty flexible on the sides. You can see it flexes on the side a little bit. Fairly minimal screen protection all the way around. It has a nice and large opening for the charging port. Has some nice ridges here on the sides to help give it extra grip. I like how it's a rougher texture as well. It seems like it's a rougher texture than what it used to be. They've got a nice lip on the back for the cameras. They also put some texture on the power and volume buttons. Even the back has some texture to it. The buttons on here are nice and clicky, as you would expect from Spigen. Nice and strong magnet there on the back too. So of course it's going to work with wireless charging and other MagSafe accessories. Only about 43 grams, so fairly lightweight considering it has the magnet. Overall, just a really nice, thinner TPU case that works with MagSafe charging and accessories.
So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.